Mitch.
Or you get started, everybody, we say pledge here, it's not a public hearing. I pledge allegiance
It's to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
regarding highway department bounding and financial security requirements for certain users of Machias road. If you have any questions about it, which is probably part of it.
What are the next things?
It depends on the amount of miles that they're gonna travel on town roads.
Under a per mile or per mile?
Yeah, it's like $10,000 per mile. But the minimum amount, minimum is 10,000, it should be up to $500,000, depending.
Yeah.
How much traveling, and they also put in here. But it looks like it's anything over 4 pounds. And we also, there's a bunch of stuff that's excluded, like our oil company, control.
Right.
There is all the essential services are excluded. Some things.
Oh, the one fraction up, yeah. And it is, I read. Should be. Yep. Don't know. Years. Yeah. All right, we'll catch you. Close the open meeting. Just no questions. Knowledge.
So would exclude oil deliveries and garbage truck,
Yeah, he funds. For the exemption part.
school buses.
Exemptions. All postal, UPS, FedEx, Amazon. Fuel, oil, septic pumping, garbage pickup, utility trucks, excluding utility subcontractors, medical deliveries and services, police, fire, other emergency. I don't have any questions about the road bonding. Back to starting a regular meeting.
think the only other person I would have is campers, boyfriend.
Imagine there was again restrictions.
No.
Yeah, it's more heavy stuff. It's not normally traveling around town roads.
It's like the really heavy logging trucks, the people hauling the giant excavators and things like that, hauling huge loads of gravel or stone. The people hauling in the equipment for the solar farms, places, things like that. It doesn't apply to any of the farmers or any recreational type vehicles that you would normally be able, that would be licensed. It doesn't apply to anything that would have just a regular license plate on it. You know, it's all commercial type things like that. Somebody needs to make a motion to close the meeting, public hearing.
So be it.
I'm sorry.
Favor?
Uh,
Opposed? All right. Roll call.
All right. We're gonna get to that page. All right, Josh.
Yeah.
Bob,
yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom is there, and Nick.
Yes.
So, minutes from March.
Be it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moving on, we have petitions and requests. Four.
I made another copy, well, another attempt at a moratorium. I'm not a lawyer. Everybody should get as specific as you can. So I want you to look it over, give me your opinion, and maybe in the future get closer, have a lawyer look at it. I don't know how. But this one is my lawyer, take this kind of copy one, and then change, I think. I'm something
Did you get one? No. Maybe you should have one. We have one for the,
yeah, look, the next one on there.
thank you.
You know, it's something you can look at, at your leisure.
One else.
We'll just make a quick comment.
Sure.
We kind of had discussion first meeting and Joe mentioned that some of this. Part of the but wouldn't it be much easier to have some very basic zoning laws that we know we need to inhibit building permits? And I think that's really a good thing, but I think there's some very basic zoning laws. And as I mentioned, I think Josh is what you need. Yeah, have them there for 6 months or 8 months. They don't seem to be good out. Change and cancel or alter them. For instance, especially around Lime Lake. Side lot setbacks, minimum of 5 feet or minimum of 7 feet, whatever the pleasure. It's 10 foot from a lot line, things like that. That would be a good start. You could set up some very basic commercial zone, where is commercial development? This is what you do. Where will you entertain having solar arrays and power farms?
Well,
There's no aspect of farming in them.
yeah, the methodology that we're instructed is first plan,
No, I get it. It's just,
then you create your zoning.
I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah.
I think that would give you some breathing room to do more of it. Think of what you're looking to do.
I see what you're saying.
Just might make sense.
Yeah, we definitely need to do, some things and it's required. Seems like.
You know, think about, it, there's a lot in there that could come up, and all of a sudden, you can't stop it, but if you have a moratorium, you gotta wait. And, so we can figure out where we want, whatever it is we want to do.
Sounds good. All right, so we have a supervisor, on the report, which is part email. So that's there, if anybody wants to do it.
That's the one you made about.
I emailed it out earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just not printing out.
didn't change.
No.
I have a small update from Tim from an email we sent me since she came here. Did he leave anything for you?
No,
Okay.
no, he said he gave it to me, so.
So Tim says he's. Everything's good. We just finished clearing up the sand around the lake. We're still on track for getting the excavator in May, but they're gonna grind up Tingy Road next week. Ferry Road and Hooper Road will ground up 21st. Wax out to follow. Baseball diamond is gonna be weekly games, but definitely practice. Not sure about games, the volleyball match is off for 2 weeks of the summer afternoons. That was it from him right now. So we're on to the water district. Derek, I'd like to, I guess, let you address one. About that.
Thank you. So, a couple of things for the water district tonight. First thing is the meter contract itself. That's getting toward being able to be ramped up. Fourth generation construction has addressed a number of the issues with the system. They did not charge the town anything. No, not some. They first need to be taken care of. So they tried to help the town out with that. We also took a look at the overall quantities for the projects, and there was a lot of stuff they didn't end up having to do. Things like freezing the lines, replacing curb valves, ball valves, and that sort of thing. So there's actually a change order that needs to be executed now that they've essentially finished the work that they have to do, and that results in a decrease from the last change order of $46,830, or pull up the pay up here, a net decrease of $37,890. That's yes, over the original contract. So luckily, substantial savings in meter installations, and that should help go towards what I'm going to talk about next. But essentially, the meter installations are just about wrapped up. The only two issues that I think we have left in the system: the town pool, the register before the meter head on that meter was damaged from the factory. EJP is supposed to be replacing that so that it can be hooked up to the radio. Right now, it's still reading. It can't be hooked up to a radio because the wire is severed. So EJP is going to fix that. And then the meter at the Pines, there was an issue there that EJP is supposed to be getting a cable and battery for, and they just informed me today that that's finally in. So they're supposed to be trying to get that scheduled this week or next week, and hopefully that will have the system up and running here in the future, which means that can finally be closed out on both projects. Now, for the installation, we are holding half of the amount of the 3-inch meter installation or the 4-inch meter installation over at the Pines Nursing Home facility until that's addressed and up and running. So the next payment application will essentially be the last 50% of that particular meter installation and the release for change. And then everything will be wrapped up in the project. So a couple of things to go along with that. A certificate of substantial completion. They've completed more than 95% of their project. And so I think it's time that the town consider the certificate of substantial completion starting the maintenance period on that. Payment application number 2, which you should have a copy of tonight. And then, before that pay app can be processed, the change order would need to be approved to decrease the overall contract value, because that is incorporated in this pay application to decrease. So that's essentially the water meter installation project. Now, a few weeks ago, I met with Josh and Bob in our office, and we were talking a little bit about the water system. Obviously, the water, well houses have been an issue for a few years now. Health department has wanted to see some changes done on those. And we've talked in the past about trying to do an engineering study to look at all the problems with those wells. Maybe even the tank and the distribution system, and try to apply for funding where you might be able to get grant funding to be able to do portions of the project. And when we had talked last time, we weren't sure that there were many grant programs out there for actually doing a report. But after talking with Municipal Solutions and with Rural Development actually has a grant program available. And that grant program, if the town applies and qualifies, is for up to 75% of the total report value, or 60,000, whichever one is the lesser. So in an ideal situation, you would be able to do a report on environmental study and get everything from start of the report all the way to being ready to apply for the funding of the actual project. For let's just use the maximum number available, $60,000 plus a 25% match, and so that would be
75.
yes, 75,000. And what that would do is we would take a look at the system, or whoever would take a look at the system and recommend upgrades and essentially recommend a full project within the water system. And then you would apply to rural development, the CWSRF program, or sorry, the DWSRF program, drinking water, revolving fund, just like you did for the Lime Lake projects, and see if you qualify for funding. And if you do, and it's a viable project, you would vote on going forward with that project, and hopefully there's a lot of grant funding available for that. And this step would be a huge step towards showing the health department that you're making the effort to make changes, which I think is the main see at this point. So that was really what I wanted to talk about tonight, was having the town consider making a motion or a resolution to actually work with Municipal Solutions to put in that grant application. And in talking with Caleb, he would offer any of our time for free to help get that grant. It really shouldn't take a lot of our time, but we imagine there will be a general project description, maybe a brief cost estimate, and a few things to help Municipal Solutions with the process. And to apply for that.
I'll make the motion. Do we have NDA? Give us the assistance we need for both of these to so we can get this moving.
Guys, other questions real quick? Is there a due date for applying for that?
No, so with the rural development program, it's just something that's open year round. It's not like the programs through the state, which have a specific funding deadline. So you can apply at any time, and I don't know exactly what the turnaround is on the grant program, but I would think within a month or so, you should probably know once the application is.
This, we apply this.
Is that a motion?
Yep, I made a motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on either the meter project or anything with the water system at this point? Well, thank you very much for your time.
Next step.
Have a good night.
Derek, we will have that, I have the resolutions in here to approve that change order and stuff, so I'll probably have to change.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay,
Thank you. Have a good night.
Anybody have anything for the sewer district?
no. No, he doesn't, he didn't say anything earlier when I talked to him, so.
But he's talking.
He's talking? Well, let's, I asked him to unmute multiple times.
Got the wood punching push there.
Oh, I know. Yeah. He has to unmute her. Here, we'll just do this. We'll just cheat. This technology is challenging for some. They can't hear you, so. Go ahead.
Nothing on the sewer. I think the only thing that we're waiting for, Josh, is, we could probably get the stuff from the county so we can figure out the EDE cost. And that should be coming shortly. If we're not gonna get it, like you get it. Just let me know when you get it. I'm coming home on Saturday. So I plan on getting that information and getting that together so our, bookkeeper can, our accountant can, come up with a total for that. That's the only thing I got going for right now.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. You gotta unmute yourself. On your. You are now? Okay, you are? Okay, yep, fine. Alright.
Rebecca, anything else?
Yeah, let's see. For you guys, I put in your packets, you have registration forms for the training at Southern Tier West for the government conference. So you can all fill those out. We usually send them in together. So if you want to fill those out, if you're interested, and get those back to me. And then, the end of last year, we had worked with National Grid and changed all of our outdoor lighting to LEDs. To decrease the cost to the taxpayers for all the streetlights and improve efficiency. We paid just under $3,400 to them last year to do this. And today we actually received a check for $8,890 as our rebate for that program. So we had a net gain of almost $5,500 for that project. So it was definitely a plus doing that.
I have a comment on that.
Yeah.
The one at Krebs and Rosick and Felton, it's like almost too bright. It totally blinds me. Every time I come up on it at night, I think, turn your brights off, buddy. Then I realize, oh, it's a street light. And it doesn't have any sides on it so that it's just aiming down. So it's like, of course, adding to light pollution. I didn't know if there was any kind of sides, or shroud that could be around it, so it just aims down.
They did that to try to light that intersection because of the Amish and how many accidents happen at that, and not even involving the Amish. I don't think there's anything, but I'll have Tim reach out to them and ask. But I don't think there's anything they're gonna do.
It's a little bright. We had a joke about it. What are you doing? I was like, those are blinds.
But yeah, I'll have Tim look into it, talk to National Grid and see if there's anything they can do. All right, and then we got our annual, permit for copy of the DEC permit for the Cattaraugus County deposit mine. It's an annual thing we get every year, for the mine off of Route 16. Just an overview of that. Sure. Yes,
About the LED lights,
yes.
have you seen any improvement on the bill?
It's been down a little bit, not substantial yet. But I don't know I don't know if they're estimating or actually doing readings or what they're doing yet. So, it's gone down a little bit, but even if with just the rebate, if it stays steady, we're still ahead of the game. So, yeah. Okay, I think that's that. And then, since I am, cemetery also, I'm just gonna, I posted on Facebook and on the website, and I've had people passing them out. We have the Hometown Hero banners that were Machias is finally gonna do, like all the other towns do, that the American Legion is handling. We've gotten a bunch of those in, but those are due by April 30th, so we can hopefully get those up for Memorial Day. So if anybody's interested in those, if I have them or they're available online. And then, we got a, letter today from Rick Duncan, who does the Maple Grove Cemetery maintenance. He does all the cleanup and, mowing and trimming, and last year, his contract, the last couple of years, his contract was for 10,800. And he's asking to raise his contract this year to 13,300, due to the increased cost of labor and gas and repairs to equipment. Um, he noted that Franklinville just put bids out for their cemetery, and the lowest bid was 17,000, and that's only mowing and weed eating, none of the extra cleanup or things that he does. So, he's asking that the board approve that increase, so.
Second, he does a good job and people like expenses are up.
That would take effect immediately? or-
Yeah, this year.
Well, this year.
He hasn't started yet this year, so he hasn't, nothing's happened yet, so.
He was gonna start this coming weekend, I think. Start to put leaves, he's gotta start to rake leaves up and get up there and get started.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Opposed?
Thank you.
thank you.
Yep, inflation, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Kind of a think back at this week. Anyway, summary, permit safety community system 4. Certificates of compliance 8, the open permits 27. And just for the heads up, that's good about 50/50 now, as we might get our way out of the candidate permits and such. So I did print some system reports. The first is permits open first of the year, which gives you the total. And we have building permits open from last meeting. Violation summary for property maintenance issues, building permits completed. So it gives you a first-hand look of, where the properties are, what's kind of going on. Also gives you a total of estimated project cost, permit fees, that kind of thing. So as you look through these, if there's something you don't want to see or there's something you do want to see, just let me know. I'll have to generate those reports. With respect to property maintenance, I did attach one of the more recent order to remedy violations, just to give you kind of a look to see what it is and the rates. And with that, I'm still getting about 30% compliance by sending out notices. The more egregious issues in the town, unfortunately, we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with that. Whether it's figuring out a way to get them to the court with a special town prosecutor, take them to county court. I did have brief conversation with Joe last time he was in. His outlook wasn't so favorable. I think it's a board. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with these. You'll notice one of the property maintenance violations is Lambert's junkyard towards the outskirts of town. It is a mess. It's not, well, I'll say it's one of the more egregious properties in the town. I did have a lengthy conversation with Mike. He has absolutely no intention of moving any of that crap off the road or fixing anything or doing business behind the fence. So he'll be getting violation letter and a second violation letter. It's basically going to be up to us to figure out where to go from there. And again, there's probably, I'm going to say, 7 to 10 of those very egregious properties that we've been after these people for years and years, and unless there's some kind of financial penalty associated with it, you're just not.
Is that something, I don't know, when you talk to Joel, is that something we could pass a local law and fine?
His outlook wasn't very good, given the governor's bail reform laws, trying to get people in court is damn near impossible. That the people that the most egregious offenders know that even if they get a summons, if they don't show up, there's really not much that's
Yeah.
going to happen. You could take them to county court at the town's expense. Not my wheelhouse on the
Yeah.
legal side of things.
I know there was something in our local laws about, like derelict buildings that they had to be torn down and the town did it. We could charge, you know, put a levy on the taxes, you know, which, in most of those cases would probably get taken away anyways, but, the problem would be to try to do that with cleanup would be who would do the cleanup, because we don't have the staff or the ability to do all that. So we'll be hiring people to do cleanup like that on other people's properties. Which again would probably be a liability issue also, so.
You know, on the other side of the coin, if you look at what's setting side of the road up there, all it's gonna take is one person to make a mistake and hit one of those vehicles, somebody get killed, and everybody's gonna be sorry. I mean, it's a safety issue, and I would think he would think he's on real thin.
I spent a lot of time talking to him. You're welcome to go down there. As a concerned citizen, but I'll guarantee you, you get the same deer in the headlight. look at it. He ain't gonna-
No.
It's tenacious when as they come with that stuff.
I've heard his phone calls, he is.
Definitely something to look into more and see. I mean, enforceability.
That's gonna be a tough, but if he at least gets the letters out to cover the town, we are trying to get enough stuff. But Dave's response, you know, that we didn't do anything about it.
If there was,
We're
yeah,
trying.
Right.
and
Scat, most of those trailers go behind that curb.
I still think it's a state
they have to be behind the
road.
fence.
I think they're in the right of way. Other than that, our town law for Machias prohibits them from displaying that stuff on the roadside of the fence. It's gotta be behind the fence. The fence has to be maintained.
Prescott, they cleaned up all those junkyards just recently on Block. I don't know if Chris had anything to do with that, if it's any. Chris Lexer, they cleaned up, there were a bunch of them that were, they put up new fencing and stuff at, Fred's Towing and Tid's junkyard there on Block.
Creek Road?
I thought it was Block, maybe it's Creek, it might be Creek, yeah, it might be Creek, yeah, wrong road, sorry. Yeah,
Even though there's issues, you're making a lot of progress.
We'll keep sending them out. You get both ends of town on 16. I mean, it doesn't present the best image. We'll work at it. But again, the new system really helps out. So again, thank you for acquiring that system for the first of the year. It's easier.
Okay. Youth commission.
Yep, we are planning a community cleanup day at the park at the end of April. So last weekend, April 27th to 28th. The weather hasn't really been great each weekend, so we might have to end up pushing it out a little farther. We hope to get the community together to come out and help sand things down, paint, and replant maybe around the signage area there. Our chicken barbecue, of course, you know, Monday the 7th of May. Starting right after the parade until sold out, $15 a piece. We're gonna hold recreation signups there.
No, what day? May what?
The 27th.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Okay.
We gave you a list of prospects for staff and their wages, we're hoping. Yeah, you'll take a look at that. We have a CPR and first aid class set up in June for the staff that we have coming on. We have a trained personnel that works at Pioneer Schools that's gonna come out and work with our lifeguards and our kiddos this summer to get them learning to swim through the Red Cross, so, that's exciting. And we also have Tony from Beauty Pools coming out tomorrow to kind of make a plan, for the repairs. So, lots of things going on.
Good.
Do we need a motion?
We'll have to do a resolution next month, but
How are you advertising?
We're gonna put it on Facebook, and I was gonna ask for that for Dharma.
so
Site.
And posters or no, like at Lowe's or in the library?
Certainly, we can do that, yeah.
Yeah, there's a class people go on those.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask if you guys have, programs for like teenagers. So I know you do the young kids in the summer. The park program, that's like only up to what, middle school?
Yeah, 11, 12, usually.
Is there anything for the older kids? Anything going on, like the library with the commission?
not organized through us, no.
And there's nothing outside of summer for the kids.
Right, we kind of had something years ago, but we haven't.
Well, we did the trunk or treat, in conjunction with the local churches and community.
Some flyers on the church's also, you know, promoting the.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, we have posters hang up for the chicken barbecue,
yeah.
so we can, easy enough to get them hung up for cleanup day.
That's good. Thank you.
Yep.
We'll move down to committee reports. We have an update from the planning.
Yes. To begin with, our meeting has been very well attended, got some really good input. I was very impressed with that so far. We did have to change our meeting dates because we got conflict of interest. Our next meeting will be April 29th. The next meeting will follow on the 3rd of June after that. We did come up with a final survey, which you all have copies of. And that was reviewed by the attorney to make sure we're legally correct. We do intend to put a ad in the penny saver, and it's going to say, attention, Machias District residents and property owners, Machias Planning Committee through the approval of the Machias Town Board has comprised a comprehensive plan survey to help us see your vision on the future of Machias. You can access that survey through the Machias website, or you can pick up copies of it at Lil's Deli, the town library, and also the veterinary clinic up here in Penn too.
And out here, at the clerk's office?
Yeah, yeah. And we're looking to have those returned by the 30th of June. And Josh has got a web link or a QR code, so the survey can be done online, which is going to be a big help.
I know, Rebecca, would there be any issue with us posting an online link and a QR code
Yep.
for on our town website and also the Facebook?
Yep, that's fine.
Because I think we're pretty close to having that.
Yep, that's fine.
Think that access.
Can I make one more comment?
Yeah.
Josh and I and Jeannie attended a supervisors meeting in Great Valley the other night, which was about zoning and moratoriums, and it was very interesting. I was really impressed with it. One thing I wanted to point out, after everybody had left, Dan Brown took me on a tour of that building building. Most of that improvement on that building was done with grant money. And they have got a food pantry that I have never seen the likes of. I mean, it's huge. It's all brand new. They've even put in a back section with a bathroom for state police there in that same building. That is very impressive, but most of it was done with grant. So I think we need to really look into grant.
Yeah. For sure. Still one at the top of my list to get somebody good secured. I was gonna ask you about that, yeah, what he's saying. I still have your initial 2-page report that you did on the building, which is some kind of generic needs of it. Would it take much to get a little bit more in depth with it as far as applying for a grant? I mean, would that's something you'd be able to do?
Depends what the requirements of the grant.
Because I know, from my understanding is you're not gonna just get a grant to just upgrade the building. It's gonna be maybe an electrical one, or maybe plumbing, or, different facets of it that we'll have to be able to kind of do as.
Typically, what would happen is you would hire somebody like Derek Roll to come out and they would do a study of the building, and in that study, I mean, there's obvious masonry issues, there's electrical issues, there's code issues, access to the building issues. They would do a comprehensive write-up and put together budgetary estimates for all that. I guess from that point forward, if there's an agreement on, all or a portion of that, they would do more in-depth estimates, send out for quotes,
Mhm.
they could start up and check from there.
Thank you, Dave, for your update also. All right, so we're gonna move on to some of these resolutions that we have covered here. I'd like to address the bonding law first, we can take care of. We have to ratify or approve a motion here that's short document form for the city three, which everything is no. Look on the back here, it says, the town board is adopting a local law for the commercial public costs or damage and repair as a result of such usage. Such requirement will have no significant environmental impacts. This one will just need to be signed in section, so I'd like to ask for a motion to approve this as written with no impact to speak of.
It's the same one. we did.
Yeah, I emailed you. No, we did part 1. This is part 2 and 3.
No. Yeah. Second.
All in favor?
Opposed? Yep.
Alright, so now we have that, we move on to the actual.
It's number 3.
So we have a resolution to adopt local law. For 1/2024. Whereas local law number 1/2024 has been submitted to establish bonding financial security requirements for certain users of town Machias roadways, and whereas the amendments to the town code set forth in the local law have been carefully considered by the town. And whereas a public hearing was held today on April 15th, 2024, permitting public comments in regards to the proposed amendment to the zoning code. Now therefore be it resolved that local law 1/2024 is hereby adopted. It shall become effective upon filing of the local law with the New York State Secretary of State. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is directed to file a copy of the law with the New York State Department of State. The resolution I stated above is hereby adopted by a majority vote. Machias Town Board at an official meeting held April 15th, 2024. The yeas and nays recorded vote.
I'll move it again. Second.
Josh,
Oh, yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep,
Nick.
Yep.
All right, then we have some new resolutions for the here. I'm just gonna go through these, couple of these related to what Derek had to say on the water meters. I'm just gonna set it first one. Resolution to authorize supervisor to sign change order number 3 on water meter contract 2. Whereas the town of Machias needs to adjust the various unit price quantities actually completed on the project. And whereas this will allow the town to prepare the final payment on the project. And whereas the proposed change order has been reviewed, approved, with signature by MDA engineer. Therefore be it resolved that the Machias Town Board authorized the town supervisor or designate to sign such document. The resolution as stated above is hereby adopted by a majority vote on the Machias Town Board An official meeting held today, 2024, the 8th and 8th recorded.
I'll second.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank.
Yep.
Tom,
Yep.
Josh, you don't have to read these again, you can just read the titles.
Yeah.
Because everybody got them emailed and they were available on their website. So, it's up to
Yeah.
you, but you don't have to.
All right, the next one is the resolution to authorize the final payment on water meter solution contract 2.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
That one.
Don't wanna read this one.
Kind of wants it, so we can hear much.
They're the bullshit, they're good shit.
Let's give a quick, just to give a quick synopsis. There's this resolution that's part of the budget, part of the new budget from our lovely governor. Called, the Rapid Act. It's stuck in there. Long story short, it's basically taking away home rule and pushing eminent domain on towns like ours to run transmission lines or whatever they want through everybody's property to accomplish whatever project. Taking away our ability to really do much about it. I don't know what we're gonna be able to do about it, but at least we're gonna take a stand with a lot of other towns. Pass a resolution that says we're in opposition to that, we don't agree with that. So we can at least,
Mainly for green energy, solar and wind.
I'm sure that's one.
Yeah.
We're not all of it.
Well, that'll start it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yeah.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Nick.
Next one's a resolution to authorize the transfer of funds. This is to pay for the excavator. For the town here that was already previously. We need to transfer the funds over. Need a motion.
I
I'll
give
make
it.
a motion.
Tom did.
Okay, second.
I'll second it.
All right, Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Nick. And then this would be the only one we have to just read the amounts. Nobody had this earlier.
On the claims
Yeah.
for April 2024. We have general fund 17,634.73. General youth 8544. Highway fund 21,734.68. Street lighting 1726.15. Water fund 2953.48. And sewer fund 12,044.67.
You review, right? Okay. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Was there something else we were talking about beforehand that we had to make a motion for? That we didn't do yet or no?
no, because we did the municipal solutions, that was one,
Oh,
and then we did that when Derek was here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that was the oddball thing.
We have one.
Looks that way.
You guys have anything? We motion to adjourn.
Can I, just say the count to speak?
Sure.
Sorry, I know, you weren't expecting it, but I did wanna know, do we know how many hometown heroes in Charlotte? We have hometown heroes. Do we have any idea how many heroes?
No, we're working on it. Yeah.
We're getting over this somehow.
We figured, we counted, we have 40 poles from. Where do we start, Steve? By the police barracks? Yeah. Going down to the bridge, so we could put 80
altogether,
up, yeah.
but we don't know how many there actually is because.
I don't know.
Okay.
We really don't.
Because there's no way to.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just curious about that, and I'm really thankful that you guys did that, because,
That's gonna be good.
I think that's really good. To bring honor to those who serve their country, so I just really appreciate that. And then the other thing was, I just felt led to speak to the board and also the youth commission. Because, I know that I was taken wrong and, because of things that I said, and I just wanted to apologize to all of you. Because I just, am really sorry for, coming across the way that I have. And I just really wanted to apologize to you too, Tom.
You're welcome.
And I just wanted to add one. Because, you know what, I've always been for you guys. And, I know that night, I think that you probably felt like I was attacking you, but I was more wanting to address the board about certain things. And just asking questions, and I'm sorry that I came across, differently. And I'm sick of being uncomfortable. And I just wanted to say, that was my reasoning for wanting to come to your meeting. I wanted to apologize then, but didn't get a chance. So I just wanted to make that clear too. And I just wanted you guys to hear my heart about that, because if I never say anything, to you directly, I just felt like it was, made sense to do it publicly. In that way, to express how I feel.
In regards to veteran, I did find out from Colleen that currently, and of course it changes, we have 14 vets at the nursing homes, whether they're originally from this area or not. But they're considered tax residents, but there's 14 vets at the nursing home.
Oh,
That changes, you know, and whether they're originally from.
okay. Because really, I think what I was getting at is really, unless you know that there's a vet, like, if there's a family member or something, there's probably a lot that are missing.
We should be able to know from their taxes, because don't they get a break in their taxes? Oh,
But that would be the ones that,
applied for it.
but that would be a good.
Yeah, that's
good-
what
Yeah, but they gotta wanna do it.
Yeah.
You know, it does cost $200.
Oh, yeah, I think that's one of the points that,
It does cost $200 to have them made,
Uh-huh.
and they,
Oh,
you
you're
need to- and you
talking,
have to have a good 5x7 photograph before you need a uniform.
Well, they're not all 5, some of them are just little 3
Well,
by
but they
5s,
gotta be made into,
bigger things, yeah.
Are you
which
working
we
with
could, which,
Legion on that?
The Legion is handling it, I'm just collecting them and handing out applications.
Okay, yeah, they
Yes.
were like 175 and all.
Yeah, it's the Legion's project, so,
they just.
Not cheap.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about your point, that maybe there's some veterans out there who we would love to honor, that should be honored, but maybe for some reason, found that they can't afford the $200. So if we were to come into the knowledge of that, you know, when somebody wants to pay for it in their, you know, in their house.
Well, you probably want to pass it on to the Legion commander.
You're sitting right there.
Yeah, sure.
And just, do they have to be a veteran or can they be active service duty, active members?
Oh, no, they're in the military now?
Right, right,
Yeah.
They're a veteran, yeah.
okay, all right, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. They want it.
Yes,
Okay.
active, retired, or deceased.
Preferably honorable, I take it, Steve.
Well, although you're not seeing their DD 214, so you wouldn't necessarily know that. No, we're just trusting. If somebody wants to label them a hero, we're trusting they were honored to get charged.
Okay, make your motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Did not I need you to sign that change order?
See you guys on Saturday.